What's going on, everybody? Today we are coming at you with this from This Heavy Earth. All right, this pedal is their take on the Tube Screamer 808 circuit. Kind of took the 808, redesigned it. As modern players, we want a lot more than what they had when the 808 came out. So there's a lot on this to unpack. This is not my pedal, so I did not open the back, but we will talk real quick. There's an impedance pot inside. That kind of helps with the type of pickup that you have, the impedance that you'll have. So it's an inside trim pot. You can adjust it, like if you're using active pickups versus passive. If you're the type that likes an 808 that's got a lot of options and you're playing in a country band with a single coil, you can also fix the impedance for that. All right, kind of does everything. This is an action-packed pedal. I will say right now, I was a little upset. I've been wanting one of these for a very long time. They're never in stock when I have money. So if all you guys would just take a break from buying these fucking things so I can get my hands on one, I'd be greatly appreciated. Or if you have a good deal on one used, get a hold of your favorite fat piece of shit. All right, so this is called the Grim. It's their, I guess you'd call it like the parametric 808. Because really, it's more than an 808. It's more like a parallel overdrive. So the options in this will give you options paralysis. Okay, so if you go across the top, you got level, blend, gain. Pretty self-explanatory. Level, how much this pedal is hitting your already set amp. The blend will take you from dry to wet, which means you're using a little less of the change to a whole lot of the change, and anywhere in between you can actually dial it in. Sometimes you get a good flavor from these when you're not really throwing them fully into the bush, you know what I mean? That's right, just the tip. Then you have gain, which if you don't know what gain is, well, you're definitely watching the wrong channel, because I use more gain than what's fucking necessary under all situations. Then you have bass and treble. Self-explanatory, correct? Yeah? Then they have bite, which instead of having a mids, it has a bite, which kind of changes the, I guess, the frequency that the mids come in at. And it's very responsive. Like, you don't have, it's not a slow thing, like it covers a small thing. She's a touchy knob. You can really get your mids fine-tuned if you're patient enough just to turn that knob ever so slowly. If you have to turn it like you're Tony in Tokyo on a nipple or something when you're getting your first titty in your hand, it might not be a useful knob for you. But if you're old like me and you're patient and you just like to see that dumb look come across their heads, they can't believe you're still playing with a nipple 5 minutes later, this knob is for you. Just saying. All right, on the bottom, we have what I consider game changer situations. We have a low cut and a high cut and a clipping. All right. So we'll talk about low cut and high cut. Cut the lows, cut the highs. And if you go too far, because this heavy earth is pretty badass, right? Options, lots of options. You actually can add. But in the middle, you're kind of like in the middle. Surprise! Doesn't get any easier than that. They make sure the dumb guitar player can actually use it. That's why I did such a good job. All right. And then you have the clipping. Now, I don't understand the difference between LED and silicone. And they sound different. But I don't have a preference because I have some that use some use others. And when I think like, oh, I don't like the silicone, then I'll get one that has the silicone in it, and it's awesome. So I don't know how to explain it. Everything functions differently, but the good thing about this is they give you the option. You can do a symmetrical LED. You can also do a diode lift, which is kind of good for like clean boosting, you know. But if you're using the symmetrical LED, the LED will really take your high gain and really bring it to the front. It smashes the front of your amp, like smashes it. Hits it full gorilla dick, if you know what I mean. And then you get your symmetrical silicone, which the silicone's kind of good with dynamics. Like if you're chugging along, then you want, if you're the type that knows how to noodle, it's actually gonna break it open. You're gonna hear those single notes like super clear. They're gonna sing. They're gonna be very musical. That's the best explanation I can do, and for all I know, I just explained it wrong. So if I did, sorry. Get a spork, eat my ass. All right, but anyhow, this was sent out to me by my good friend Chase Lewis. He has just started a YouTube channel, and yes, I know, every time I borrow one of his pedals, I talk about this man. You know why? Because he still doesn't have very many subscribers. He's figuring this stuff out. He does cool stuff. His dry sense of humor and his almost like I'm bored as shit while filming this thing is just fucking hilarious. So if you want to see somebody who's doing something really cool, he's figuring stuff out, it's been a help to my channel, oddly enough. You know, with figuring stuff out with my audio and shit. Give that guy a like. It's called this. That sounds terrible. Literally. That sounds terrible. Punch it in. Subscribe. Give that man some love. Or just stop by and just tell him to trim his beard. He start to look homeless. Whatever. Do whatever you want. Mail him sporks so you can get on the eat my ass train. All right. As always, folks, this pedal kicks ass. I will own one. Obviously, like when the time is right, when I have money in my pocket and they're fucking available. That means it's a good pedal. If it's never in stock, that means people are getting it and they're loving it and they're sharing it with their friends. Their friends got to have it. It's not a hype piece of gear. It's a legit working piece of gear. And it runs in about, I think if I remember right, it's $189 plus shipping, possibly. It's about $200, give or take a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? And it's worth all of it. I'm going to say that. It's definitely worth all of it. If you're the only thing it doesn't have, the only thing that would make this ridiculous, over the top, would be a gate. If it had a gate built into it, even if it's just an inside trim pot, this would be probably in the top 5 I've ever played in my life. But they got to have a gate. I'm sorry. To all you people who are developing pedals, gates are everything. Especially if you're like me and you're an asshole and you use a fuck ton of goddamn gain. All right. So this is how I spent my morning drinking coffee, fucking with this pedal for the first time. I must say, I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. And I know everybody's been asking me, what's in the cup, you fat piece of shit? Well, today, it's Death Wish. I've gone back to Death Wish. The other stuff just wasn't cutting it, man. If anybody knows any highly caffeinated rugged coffee you want me to try on my channel, hit me up. Let me know. I love coffee. I don't drink it to wake up. I drink it because I fucking love coffee. All right. Keep music evil. Bring metal to the children. And hey,